Hey guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming a video that I have debated on filming for a very long time. And this is going to be the story of how I found out that I was 6 months pregnant and literally just had no idea. So before we get into this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and click my subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. I plan on doing a video about my birth experience and labor, so make sure to turn on my bell notification down below so you don't miss out when I post that video. So without further ado, let's just get into this long story time. Go back to the first 5 months of my pregnancy, and within the first 5 months of my pregnancy I had been going through different health issues. The first one was my weight. I had been dealing with weight issues most likely throughout my entire life. Over the last 3-4 years I have gained quite a bit of weight, and on top of that started noticing that I was dealing with what I like to call it as a food addiction. Living on my own, I don't cook. I was ordering skip the dishes, Uber Eats, fast food, you name it, I was eating it, whatever was quick and easy because I don't know how to cook and wasn't cooking. I was also dealing with some severe back pain and having trouble sleeping because of the pain in my back. This had been going on for quite a few years. I have always been large chested. I started developing very early, around the age of 8, and so this being 5 foot and large chested causes me to have some severe back pain. I had gone to the doctors years and years ago to start the process of getting a breast reduction, but was too afraid. So here I was back at the doctors, basically going in to start the process of getting a breast reduction since I was in so much pain. Also started noticing that I was dealing with some heartburn. This heartburn was on and off. It wasn't anything severe, but it was an issue, and I obviously thought it was because of my weight gain. Started noticing that I wasn't getting my period. In April, I had some spotting, which for me, I just considered that to be a just lighter version of my period. And because I didn't have sexual intercourse, not getting my period didn't trigger anything to me. And I know a lot of you may be thinking, what do you mean you didn't have sexual intercourse? I'll get into that later on in the video. End of July, I went on a vacation to Idaho with my family to visit some relatives. And during this time, I noticed my back pain disappeared, my heartburn disappeared, and we were eating healthy out in Idaho because my great-grandmother was cooking 2 meals a day for the entire family, since we had about 15 relatives together for 2 weeks. And so when we got back from Idaho at the end of July, my mom suggested I go weigh myself because she was convinced, because of how healthy we were eating, that I had definitely lost some weight, even if it was just a few pounds. So when I jumped on the scale, I was very upset. I noticed that I gained 10 pounds. And I was very upset with myself because the number on the scale was the biggest I've ever weighed in my entire life, and it just crushed me completely. Moving into the first 2 weeks of August, this is when everything started rapidly changing and happening so fast. I first started noticing that I was taking naps and I was very tired. I would come home from work and sleep from 4 in the afternoon till sometimes 11 at night, and then stay awake till 2-3 in the morning, get up at 6 or 7 and go to work. Also noticing my heartburn had come back, but my heartburn came back like times 100. It was like heartburn on steroids. It was like so painful. It sometimes lasted all day and night, days in a row. It wouldn't go away. It was just the worst pain that I have ever experienced. I was excessively peeing probably every 5 to 10 minutes, and that for me isn't normal. I started explaining to my mother all of these symptoms that I was dealing with, and they were happening one by one. So I was letting my mom know, because she's a nurse. all of those things were happening. My mom thought I was developing diabetes because of my weight issues. And then I started noticing that I was gaining a bunch of weight. People at work were noticing, mentioning that I looked bloated. And every time I looked in the mirror, I started to think that I was pregnant. I just started getting paranoid because I wasn't getting my period, because of this weight gain. And at this point, I started noticing movement within my stomach. And then I became more paranoid than ever. I decided to go to Walmart, get a pregnancy test, and that's exactly what I did. I took the pregnancy test in the Walmart washroom, and it came back immediately negative. So at this point, I'm thinking, thank God, not pregnant, and told my mom. And so at this point, we knew something was wrong. My mom, a couple of days later, came to my work, picked me up, took me to the doctors, came with me to be my support system, and, you know, just talked to the doctor about everything that I'm experiencing. We start telling her all of the things that are happening to me. My mom then begs them to test me for pregnancy, and so I go into the washroom, I pee in a cup, they stick the little tester inside. The woman comes back and asks me if she would like to give the results with my mother in the room. I said sure, not a problem, and that's when I found out I was about 6 months pregnant. In that moment, I was more thinking, how? Because like I said before in the video, I did not have sexual intercourse. And I know a lot of you may be thinking, what do you mean you didn't have sexual intercourse? Well, the father of my child, we fooled around. He touched himself and touched me, and semen was on his fingers and inserted inside of me, and that is how I conceived my son. We spoke to the doctors, we researched, Googled, and found out that it is actually more common than people think to get pregnant by getting touched by the man having semen on his hands. Also found out that you could wear your underwear and semen can literally swim right through the underwear. I mean, it's obviously not as common as having sexual intercourse, and most people don't know about this. I mean, my mom's a nurse and had no clue about this, but that's because unless you're a virgin, you literally wouldn't know that you're getting pregnant this way, because most people are fooling around and having sexual intercourse. I did not have sexual intercourse, so this was something new to us. We scheduled a sonogram for 2 days after the doctor visit, and that is when I found out that I was exactly 24 weeks pregnant and that I was having a boy. I, in that moment, was not even contemplating anything other than keeping my son. I knew right away that I wanted to keep him and that this was what I needed to do. This was the right thing to do, it's my responsibility, and I knew right then and there that I loved him unconditionally. Well, there you guys have it. That was my story and how I found out that I was 6 months pregnant. Please give this video a big thumbs up and also click my subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. I will be making a video very soon about my labor and birth experience. For those of you who want to see that, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out when I do end up posting that video. Also comment down below if you have ever experienced a story just like mine or something similar. I'd love to hear your guys' stories of how you guys found out you're pregnant and see if anyone's had a similar experience like me. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys very soon. Bye.